So we are at the Bayou Guitar release party. Let me tell you something. Fun as hell. Nice people. Talented artists. Beautiful guitars. So make sure you check out Bayou Guitars and everything that has to do with it. This is a release party, epic release party that you'll never forget. Or at least I won't. Hey, welcome to the Charlie Browne Show. I'm here at Chris. If you want to explain, it's Chris Bennings. You met him once. We did a video a while back. He's back with the Charlie Browne Show about a wonderful event I'm very excited to be part of, and I bet you are too.
Yeah.
So it's Bayou Guitars.
Yes. Bayou Guitars launch party here at the Tap Room on Sunday, July 21st. And there's going to be a lot of great musicians here today. We have some Louisiana Hall of Famers that we're presenting some custom guitars to. J.B. Elston, Stevie Blaze from Lillian Axe, and the Saddle Tramps are going to be playing some. There's going to be a lot of different musicians showcasing the guitars and what they can do. We have a lot of different angles with them. One of the things that we're really proud of is Mike DeSherry invented what's called a VPT. It's a switch that basically is like a pedal board on your guitar, so you can go from clean channel to blues sound
Straight from the guitar.
on the guitar. It's a little switch.
Gotcha.
So it's clean, blues, and rock sound, and every guitar player that's played it is just blown away by it. It's patent pending right now, and they're really looking forward to not only using it for our guitars, but also other brands of guitars as well. And
awesome.
so that's another angle of the business.
So you are the painter, body finisher, you know.
Yes, I do all the prep along with other people, but I also paint the guitars, put the clear coats on the guitars, and finish the guitars. And it's a new thing to me because I did cabinets, renovating cabinets for the last 7 or 8 years, and they came to me with this idea, and I was like, I would love to try it. And there's a lot of common ground between cabinets and guitars as far as the way you go about doing it, the process of doing it.
Painting
Yeah.
procedure, correct.
And then there's a lot of very different things that we had no idea about because none of us have done this before. So the last 3 or 4 months has been laboratory experimentation trying to get these things right.
Right, a lot of research and development along the way, I'm sure.
A lot of research and development.
Get me right, what type of wood are you using? I think that's what blew me away. Being from the South, being a good old Southern boy, when you said what it was, what you're about to say, what is it?
It's Sinker Cypress.
Sinker Cypress.
Exclusively Sinker Cypress for the bodies.
Amazing.
We use different kinds of wood that are also indigenous to Louisiana for the necks. And we have a great luthier that he's a respected all around the Nashville area for his skills at doing necks. Every guitar player seems to love them so far, so that's a great thing.
That's awesome.
But the Sinker Cypress obviously is pulled out of the swamps of Louisiana, and they dry the tree itself out for about a year, and then it's put into an electronic kiln for about a month to bring it down to about 10% moisture, and then it's milled, and then we take pieces of it in squares and put it in a CNC machine, which carves out the body.
Okay.
Then we sand the body down so it's completely ready to be painted and smooth, and then it goes through a 15-coat process between the stains,
It's a lot of work.
the bursts around it, and about 10 clear coats to give it that deep, thick look and also protection.
Right.
And that was the process. That was part of the process that was really hard to get right because there's all kinds of things that go wrong between the chemistries of the paints together, the heat that you're painting in, the finishing work, the hang dry time, curing time.
Everything. And
yeah.
it all had to come together as a neatly fit package. And everybody that's played it so far that I've spoken to said it's just wonderful. The sound is wonderful.
Man, it's one of those crazy things where you just don't know what you're going to get till it's done.
Until it's done.
As far as the tone of the guitar, they really had no idea if it would work or not. But it just so happens that the minerals in the mud and the water and the pressure from the swamp over 1,000 years or more presses all the minerals into the wood. Right. So it makes it very rich, and it gives it a deep, full, resonant sound that a lot of other guitars just don't have, and it's a great side effect that we had no idea was going to happen.
That came to birth from it.
Yeah,
Right.
and we're like, wow, it worked. You know?
Right.
So.
Right. Well, that's great, man. I'm proud of you guys. I can't say that enough. I texted him earlier. He said thanks. I said no, thank you for bringing something from the South to the world.
Yeah.
Not just a little old Louisiana, but the way y'all are going about this process is amazing to me, man. So here we go, Chris Benning's first of a few interviews today. I look forward to getting this package together for y'all and showing you a little more about the Charlie Browne Show, but a lot more about Bayou Guitars. That's the focus today.
Yeah,
Thanks
you're right.
again. All right, see, this is informal interview with Rob Todd for the Charlie Browne Show.
Yeah, you're right.
About Bayou Guitars. So, tell me, what are we doing here today?
Man, we celebrating the culmination of a lot of years.
Yeah, you're right.
Mike and I go way back, and let's see if I can remember the right year.
Shit, we go way back. We just ran the same circle, didn't know each other.
Yeah, right?
I'm being honest, man. Shit, him and all that shit.
I think it was 1990
Yeah.
when we started playing. Mike, Chris Barnes, Mike DeGrotto, myself, and Christian Thompson, who's no longer with us. Rest in peace, my brother. We started a group, started making some noise, you know, and really, I started playing guitar first, but I wasn't any good. I saw Mike play one time and was like, yeah,
Got to do it.
I think I'm gonna play bass. And luckily, they had a guy who was playing bass with him and never showed up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, had some issues going on, you know, so I ended up buying all his equipment from him basically for nothing.
Picked up.
I wish I still had that guitar too. It was a Gibson Ripper.
Oh.
And
Live and learn.
yeah, no, that's how it all started, you know, us waiting tables, going to school, you know, growing your hair, you know.
Yeah, well, you get your legs underneath you.
Yeah, we had a good time.
So now we're here at Bayou Guitar for their release party, and it's just good seeing everybody.
Absolutely.
I'm so proud of everybody, including yourself, dude. You're killing it with Category 6.
Thanks, man.
I mean, as
Appreciate
a
it.
friend, it's totally
I appreciate it. Thank
very talented, very uplift. Every show's uplifting. You know, it's not one of those, oh my God, I've got to go see it. You know,
Right.
it's fun. You make it fun. So
you. Well, I mean, I love music. Music moves me.
it's passion.
You know, yeah, absolutely. It's been like that since I was a kid. I mean, I can remember listening to Elvis, you know, 8-tracks with my headphones on, imitating him. I wanted to be Elvis, man. I wanted to be Elvis. I really did.
I wanted to be the guy recording it.
Yeah.
Or
And,
the salesman for it.
but you know that, like and what you see on stage or you know, or anywhere, is no different than you'll see me in my car driving in traffic.
Right. It's
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
It's you. It's you.
Same thing with Mike. You know, Mike, he lives it.
He lives
He
it.
feels it, lives it, loves it. You know,
See that. And we've come a long way since our younger days.
absolutely.
And now we're going to celebrate Bayou Guitars, the Charlie Browne Show, and Rob Todd with Category 6. Thanks for taking time out to talk to me.
Thank you, my brother.
All right, man. Let's celebrate for him.
Absolutely. We're
You
gonna
get
tear
up
it up
there
tonight.
and
Oh yeah, we're all
Oh,
gonna play.
hell yeah.
We got a bunch of guys from.
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
you look at all the inner,
I saw
you know,
it.
just connection between, you know, JJ Mugler guys, Will Cullen and his and Mike Epstein.
Yeah, everybody.
Oh man, and
It's going to be wonderful.
Jeff. You know,
Jeff Hummel,
I wish
yeah.
his brother Richard could be here.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
I played with Richard
Oh, did
and
you really?
Jeff back
I
in a
didn't know
group.
that.
Yeah, called the Tri-Lambs back in the day.
Tri-Lambs.
Oh, it was
Remember that.
hysterical. Oh,
I
no,
missed
it was
that.
It was a short run.
Short run.
Yeah.
What fun run.
Oh yeah, no, without a doubt, we did some crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
Hummel and I were in the Army together, grew up.
Really?
Yeah. So we had some good time.
Yeah, you're right.
So, once again, thank you, Rob.
Always fun
Appreciate
talking to you.
All right.
Yeah, you're right.
That was good. Thank you. We're back with the Charlie Browne Show, and we're with Will Cullen, and we're at Bayou Guitars, and wow, huh?
Yeah, I just didn't think this day would come. I'll kind of watch this start from the beginning.
Come to fruition.
Yes. Now, you know, I played music with Mike, and then played music with Jeff. Gosh, started playing music with him in '95. He had a band that with toured around.
They
called
spoke
Saddle
about it. Saddle Tramps.
Yes.
Yeah. Saddle Tramp reunion today a little bit, huh?
Tramps. Yes. Oh, yeah, all the guys.
It's going to be dynamite. I'm looking forward to it. So.
Oh, me too. Me too.
So what do you think? This is just not out of the blue. We've been knowing about it for a while,
Mhm.
but to see this actually come to fruition is it's a blessing. You know.
Well, I mean, it's taken a lot longer than you expect. There's so much involved in this process with just designs, checking out, trademarks and logos and designs, and making sure you're not stepping on any other guitar company's feet.
Right.
And then just watching all the different designs they made, and I got to see all this firsthand because he was he showed them to me, come to practice with the promo guitar.
Right.
I'd try it out too, and then we'd go back and we'd make adjustments on it. So it was really
Right.
neat to see this whole process happen.
Right. It's really exciting, especially all the interviews I've done, and now I get to interview people that are friends with me.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of, as me as an outsider looking in, it's just been a wonderful experience.
Yeah, it has. It's just to go in there and just see all those guitars, knowing where they came from, and they're all shiny and they look real, and
Right.
nice, beautiful cases, and a lot of stuff on it that you don't see in other guitars too.
Right. Well, they spoke about that. I spoke with each and every one of them had basically the same story, but it's just amazing the technology that really is in it. The braking technology, because they have their own patent and all that. That was interesting to hear about.
When a guitar gets in your hands, it's just to feel like an extension. It's to feel like you're. You have any kids?
Yeah, thank you.
No, you don't. Okay. when you have a child and you hold your child's hand, there's nothing that feels greater than that.
Right.
And that's how it's got to feel when you touch a guitar neck. It's got to feel like, wow, this is
Right.
meant for my hand,
Right.
and it makes you just play better. And
Right.
that's what they're trying to do here. Is trying to make these guitars play so well to where you put it in your hands and all of a sudden you know more than you think you know.
Right. Well, I appreciate you taking time out,
Awesome.
and we'll look forward to the future with these guys. And yeah, it's good seeing you too.
You too, man.
Keep up the good work. I heard you've been playing a lot. Just a shout out for you.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot in the Mandible area. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, you're doing a wonderful job.
Doing a lot of art too. And,
Yeah. Oh, your artwork. Oh my God, I saw it. It's wonderful. Wonderful.
yes.
All right. Shout out to Will Cullen at Bayou Guitars from the Charlie Browne Show. So let's make things happen and keep it going. So,
Yes.
all right. Thanks again. Hey, back at the Charlie Browne Show with Bayou Guitars, Jeff Hummel. We did grow up together, so we've been knowing each other for a while, but hey, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, man.
With Bayou Guitars.
Yeah,
I'm really
it's
excited, and I'm thankful for you allowing me to come to this event and interview you guys.
Yeah.
So tell us.
Well,
what's been
did Mike share the story with you of how it all got kicked off?
He did. He said that you said, I got some cypress wood from my dad, thinking about doing a guitar. He said, well,
Yeah.
come pick me up, take you to Nashville.
Well, Will Cullen
Will
called
Cullen,
me
great
and
guy.
he said, man, my drummer didn't show up. I don't have a drummer for tonight. Can you come play? I'm like, oh yeah, man, that'll be fun. And I show up, and who's playing guitar but Mike?
Right.
I hadn't seen Mike in 30 something
That's what he
years.
said. It'd been forever.
And so we tried to, but you can't, in the middle of a gig in a bar, we couldn't catch up like we wanted to.
Right.
And so I said, man, come over and watch the Saints game tomorrow, and let's just barbecue, hang out, and catch up. And, Mike is such a talented freaking guitar player, like one of the best I've ever heard. And like a lot of very talented guitar players, was on the verge of greatness a few times, but just the last minute the wheels come off and didn't make it.
Right.
And so he was saying, yeah, man, he goes, things are going good. Got a family, love my wife, kids, but we're hanging security cameras and just can't be really passionate about that. And I'm like, what do you want to do? He's like, man, I just love guitars. All right, and let's start a guitar company. He looked at me like I had three eyes,
Right.
but I had been kicking around the idea in my head for a while, but I don't have the time or the bandwidth to run a guitar company.
Right.
And I'm thinking, man, what a cool thing to get, let Mike be around guitars and do what he's great
His
at.
passion.
Right. And then
Nice.
I got into the venture capital and startup business about 10 years ago, and that's what we do. We raise money and start businesses.
Right.
And,
So this was right up your alley.
it was perfect.
It was-
And then, but the thing is, I want to do it with people I love. And,
Right.
Mike and I and all of us, we
Right.
grew up together. It's kind of nostalgic. And honestly, I knew I didn't have time to run a business, but I said, I've got enough resources and know enough people where if I throw Mike in there to the wolves, we can make this thing
Success.
happen.
Yeah. I tell you what, I got a chance to look at the two different guitars. It's beautiful. He was
Yeah.
explaining to me. I'm not a musician. I can barely play a CD player.
Right.
But the beauty of it and the aesthetics of it, I can't wait to hear it played.
Well, one of the things we did, and so, in starting a business, most successful businesses solve a problem. And that was the first question I asked him. I'm like, man, what pisses you off as a guitar player? Like, there's got to be something. He's like, Jeff, they've done everything. I'm like, it's going to hit you. Like, and when you figure it out,
He did mention about the core. He did. And he talked about the technology that's going into it.
Yeah, and we've got IP on it. And so there's some opportunities for licensing there. But my point is, outside of the heritage of wood that we're pulling up from the bottom of the Louisiana Bayou that's been down there for 1,000 years, nobody's building guitars out of sync or cypress.
Nobody.
And quite honestly, since we started doing it, I think we figured out why, because it's a royal pain in the ass.
That's what they were saying.
But they sound amazing, and they look amazing. But it's not just a play on a Louisiana history thing, although that's a cool part of it.
Right.
The technology of the guitar, the build of the guitar. I mean, Rick has been building custom guitars for 30 years, and he's done this thing with the neck. We call it an ergocentric neck that just makes ergocentric neck, and based on being ergonomic. That ergonomic meaning everything is in reach and very easy to get to. Like, you don't have to waste a lot of energy to get to the things you're using. And on the neck, no matter where your hand is, it's like your wrist is always in perfect position to get. Because the neck is not, to look at it, you would think it's perfectly straight, but he's got it curved and cut in such a way, and the cutout at the bottom to where your fingers just get to every fret so easily. And everybody, I mean, we've got Mike Estes from Leonard Skinner and Vic LaRocca from the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame, and Jim Odom and Stevie Blaze, and all these guys that have been playing guitar for 30 and 40 years. They're like, this is one of the best necks I've ever played in my entire life. Jim Odom tried to walk out with the guitar. He's like, no, I want this one. I'm like, you can't have that one. That's the prototype. He's like, no, I want this guitar. Like, we'll build you one.
Well, that's wonderful, Jeff. And you got to come back to Louisiana and start a company with good friends. Well, it doesn't get much better than that.
No, it's
you know what I mean? Giving back to your community, your friends, and showing your passion and building on a passion that your friends have. That's a wonderful feeling.
Yeah, it is cool. It's been a lot of fun. And we've got, the factory is in White Bluff, Tennessee, and that confuses people a little bit. They're like, why is it White Bluff, Tennessee? Why are you building Bayou Guitars there? Well, our luthier is from there, but there's also Guitar Institute is there. They teach, you can go to school to become a guitar builder.
Oh, okay.
And it's about 20 minutes away from our factory. And so Tyler, that's here, and a couple of people, we're hiring people directly out of the Guitar Building Institute in Nashville. And Nashville is still Music City. So, a lot of connections there that have been incredibly helpful. So we built a factory there. But all of the wood, every piece of wood resourced on the guitar is from Louisiana.
Yeah, that's incredible. So a shout out to you, Jeff. I'm really excited. From the Charlie Browne Show and from your old friend Todd, old Army buddy. We go way back.
That's true.
Thank you.
I was thinking about restaurants. I wasn't even thinking about the Army.
Yeah,
that's true.
In the Army for a long time. So,
good deal.
So we're blessed. You're blessed. We're blessed.
Yes.
God's blessed us with another beautiful day, and now Bayou Guitars is on the roadmap.
Yes, sir.
Success.
Thank you, brother.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Our next interview is going to be with Mike DeSherry. Mike DeSherry is one of the owners, and
the president.
And he's going to give us a background of Bayou Guitars. Again, this is a celebration, a grand release party. Tell us about it.
How it all started was Jeff Hummel and I, my partner, we played in rival bands, as I like to call it, back in the 90s, the Saddle Champs, me and the Dingbats.
That's a reunion today, correct?
Yeah. Yeah,
awesome.
we are. I'm actually playing in the Saddle Champs now, if you can believe it. But so I hadn't seen Jeff in 30 years, and he subbed in for my friend the Will Cullen group as drummer. And he was like, I was in Houston a long time, even though I'm a native from here, and he was in Utah. And I hadn't seen him in 30 years. And he's like, hey, let's get together and have lunch on Sunday. I'm like, watch Saints game. I'm like, okay. I told my wife, I'm like, this guy's going to try to start some kind of company with me or something. I just know. So
got a feeling, huh?
Yeah. So I went over to his house, and we started talking about what we do. And I was working in the oil fields doing security work, and it was solid, and it was a good job.
Right.
But I was like, dude, the thing I'm the best at is guitar, and it's what I love the most. I'm passionate. He goes, you know what? I bought a bunch of sinker cypress wood from the area from my dad. We're going to build a guitar. So we're going to start a guitar company. I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking about all the 40 years of playing, going to the NAMM conventions in Anaheim, all the competition out there and everything. So my first reaction was like, whoa, that's crazy talk.
Right.
But so we kind of kept talking about it and talked about some ideas. And I told my wife, I said, if Jeff comes and gets me and takes me to Nashville, as he said he was going to, I'll believe him. Nothing against you, Jeff. I've got a lot of people tell me a lot of things.
Right.
So So we went up to Nashville, where his brother lives, and met Rick Wilson, our head luthier.
Right.
Talked about some designs, talked about the different woods and some ideas. And then I just came home and got my laptop out and my notebook and started trying to design guitars. What I tried to do is build a working man's guitar, a professional's guitar, where you need a guitar that lasts you 6 months or a year without having any problems with it, that can handle the road.
Right. Something
Stays-
that you've experienced over the years.
Yeah, it stays in tune. It can give you all kinds of different tones. And so just sat down with the AutoCAD team, which is like digital design, where they design the automobiles. Okay.
Yeah.
For those who don't, they design
AutoCAD.
digitally cars, guitars, everything, 3D, inside, outside. It was a crazy process. I've had like a crash course in guitar building the last year.
So you're now a guitar engineer.
Yeah.
You have become one.
I'm a glorified project manager. That's what I call myself.
There you go.
And the president.
And the president.
So we just started designing stuff, and then Jeff asked me one good question. He said, "What's the problem with guitars?" And I couldn't think of anything. And I finally went, "Oh, coil tapping. I just don't like it. It's a thing where you pull the volume knob up and it changes a larger pickup into a single pickup. So you get like a Telecaster tone from a Les Paul. But when you do the clicking, you lose all kinds of clarity. The volume drops. It's all these problems." So my old tech, Lance Wright, the tone doctor, shout out to him in Humble, Texas, came up with a schematic from an amp modification.
Okay.
And we tried it, and you can dial in between the two pickups, never lose clarity, and you get all the in-between tones that blend into both pickups. We call it VPT, variable pickup
That's what he was
technology.
talking about. That
It's patent pending. We did file a patent on it. We got all our legal stuff in order.
That's good.
Hopefully, we'll be able to license that to other companies, because I've been to, and I'm talking a lot, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Houston, Nashville, Austin, everybody that was like a player who does all kinds of different ranges was like, "Dude, I love this.
Right.
So much better than coil tapping." I'm like, yes. And
so you got a great response.
Got a great response. The playback on the necks Rick did, all the inlay work we've done with the 100% brass, the stainless steel, all kinds of stuff has just been fantastic. So
Made it, huge impact on the design of the guitar.
Yeah.
Well, plus it seems to be what I'm hearing is all the different years of experience you had
40.
along with everybody else.
Yeah.
And you've seen what you would like and talked about now you're making it come true.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing.
And it's a guitar that I can play in a worship group at church, like Church of the King. Shout out to them.
Pastor Steve.
I can play in metal. I can play anything with this guitar. I can do anything. It really holds up to it. So, I designed a guitar that I wanted.
Right.
So I was like, I want to take the best of every guitar I've ever owned, from Fenders to Ernie Ball Music Mans to Michael Suhr, a bunch of great companies, and little tiny things here and there, and build what I want. Like a Telecaster, but it's shaped a little bit more silhouetted so it feels more comfortable, stuff like that. You know? So that's what I did. That's the whole thing. And then I got into all the aesthetics of designing pickups with black nickel in them instead of silver. We did all brass hardware, all stainless steel hardware. And then black walnut for the necks. I mean, it's been fun, dude.
Right. It's
been
all,
fun.
like Chris was saying, it's all native Louisiana. So it's a true Louisiana Bayou guitar.
All the wood and everything's from Louisiana. Now, the parts and hardware have come from everywhere in the country.
But the wood itself.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Right.
I don't think we're going to
awesome.
change that, because Sinker Cypress is a little finicky.
Mm-hmm.
When you paint it, it kind of says, I'm going to do what I want with these coats.
Right.
And so we're letting the wood speak for itself. And so every guitar's got this little variance to it, even though the build is exactly the same on the King Cypress and the Zephyr.
Right.
So
Well, that's-
I designed the Zephyr, and Jeff and Rick designed the King Cypress.
King Cypress.
Now, all the things that I put in the Zephyr, all electronics, pickups, all transferred
It's
over
both
to the
guitars.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So if you're like a Les Paul player, the King Cypress is more your fitting, because the neck's bigger. The Zephyr is more like a player like me. I like more of a Speed, Charvel, Wolfgang, Telly neck.
Right. So tell us about your experience. You said you've traveled and you've played with different bands. I know about it, but let's hear it.
Okay, yeah, you know some of the history. When I was 19, I joined a band with Chris Bennings, who you just interviewed, the Dingbats. The North Shore was happening here. Jeff was in the Saddle Tramps. I'm sure he'll bring that up. And then I played with them for like 5 or 6 years. Moved to Houston to work with a talent agency. Ended up coming back home to join the Nosmo Kings. Went on the road with them for 3 years. Met my first wife in Houston. Had a couple of kids. Went back to music school because I took a break from touring. And then I got a job at Fellowship of the Woodlands. Started playing there. I was there for 11 years.
Awesome.
Shout out to them, Pastor Carey, and they're awesome.
Good people.
Yeah, good people. And then I toured with 12 Years Driven. Dead Set Red was another band me and my friend Chubbs Malone and Stan West started. And then Five Eyes Wide, and it was like the last 12 years in Houston never stopped. And we were playing with Seven Dust, Mushroom Head, dude, it was crazy, man.
Fun.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And it just helped me get better and better and better. And then I went back to music college again after that to get to learn even more. So,
Right. So you have well educated yourself, and now y'all have a fantastic product,
I think so.
and I think it's going to be a great event. I'm looking forward to
Cool,
it.
man.
Thank you for taking time.
Thank
out
you
to
for
speak.
taking time to come out here,
And
brother.
I'll have this done soon. And shout out again to the Charlie Browne Show and Bayou Guitars. It's going to have fun today. It's going to be
Yes,
a great
sir.
time.
Rock and roll.
Rock
baby.
and roll.
Thanks, brother.
So, welcome back to the Charlie Browne Show. I'm with Barry Barone. Pleasure to meet you. So, Bayou Guitars. This is a very big event day today, huh?
That's correct.
So, what part do you play in the Bayou Guitars?
I'm actually CEO of the company.
CEO of the company.
I'm actually making sure that it gets up and running. Handle all problems, anything that goes wrong.
You
in
handle everything.
manufacturing.
You handle everything.
Yes, I do. Every little piece has to go through me in order to know what's going on. I'm the fixer.
You're the fixer. Well, you have to be. You're the man. Well, let's be polite. Let's say how they say it, the man in charge. You can say a few other things, but that'd be great. So, wonderful group of guys you selected. So, I'm glad y'all are all together, and I'm glad to see, especially being all from these guys from Louisiana, their talent over the years, and it's all come together.
We 510 miles away from here, up in Nashville.
Right.
And doing a great job. We all get along real well, which is usually very sometimes doesn't happen a lot of
Sometimes
times.
difficult.
Tammy and Rick both worked for another company for an awfully long time.
Right.
So we actually happy to have that in our facility to come along and get Bayou Guitars off the ground.
Right. Yeah. That's what Rick was saying, that he
Yeah.
worked with her for years. That's wonderful. You're very fortunate, I should say. So that's great. So you're looking forward to the event today?
Yeah, everything, yes.
Yes.
It's been pretty hectic getting up to this.
Yeah,
And,
I understand.
yes, we'll get here. And Jeff and my son is Brad.
Right. Okay.
That's and they made a phone call to me saying, I need you up here to come get up here and get everything going. And been up there, get everything straight, and we finally got our first set out. So
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, the guitars look beautiful.
Thank you.
Wonderful job. And I think it's going to be a wonderful turnout. I'm sure it is. Hopefully the weather will hold out. But thank you for taking time out and speaking
no
with.
problem.
Well, what got you in with these guys?
my son owns the company.
Okay.
Jeff.
Okay.
And I worked for some of the other companies that they own, and I'm just
They need a fixer.
I'm
They need
a
a fixer.
businessman and a fixer, and
You make things happen.
I make things happen.
Well, see, that's what you have to have. A leader of a company has to be able to make things happen. And like you said, put out fires, and make sure everybody can gel together. It's,
And we
it's
do.
difficult.
Since I got up there and get things going in the right direction, things have gone extremely well.
Smooth.
We had some hiccups like normal,
Well, yeah, any business, yeah.
and we got everything off the ground and got it actually the day before we was leaving we found another problem we had and fixed it, and we got it all fixed, and it's like it's gonna make everything go even smoother. So
That's great.
yes,
That's great. What they always say, failure prepares, preparing to fail. But in the business world, you know it. You can't expect everything to go perfect.
it never does.
It never does. So
If anybody tells you that it does, they're lying.
they're lying. Well, again, it was a pleasure meeting you, and thank you for coming on the Charlie Browne
Thank
Show.
you very much.
And I look
appreciate you.
forward to the Bayou
Yes.
Guitar. The party today, but also the success and the networking that y'all have done has brought together a wonderful future, I think, for everybody involved.
Yeah, I see Bayou Guitars really doing well. A couple things is going to be getting a specialty guitar made.
Oh, that's going to be nice.
So yeah, and we done one already, and we're going to be able to sit down and do any kind of design you want.
Oh, that's awesome.
Colors,
That's awesome.
And you'll be getting all our superior technology
and knowledge.
cheese.
Yeah.
And also the neck technology we use it, and everything's be made in house.
Right.
So when we hear this, that's made in house, it all starts right here,
Right.
and all the pieces come together to see when we go.
That's great. Well, thanks again, Bear. I
Yes,
appreciate it. Well,
Have a great
thanks
day.
again with the Charlie Browne Show. Bayou Guitars. Barry, thank you, Barry. I appreciate it. All right, back to the Charlie Browne Show. I'm with Rick Wilson. Rick Wilson with Bayou Guitar.
Nice to meet you, Charlie.
Pleasure.
Very much so, sir.
Pleasure. So now that I've interviewed people, I know exactly who you are, the guitar master.
Oh,
You've been building for what, 30, 40 years?
Oh, over 40 years.
40
yes, sir.
years.
Yes,
So
sir. I don't know about master. You always learn, you know. So.
Well, if we quit learning, we might as well roll up.
That's
and
it.
call
That's it.
a
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
So tell us a little about yourself, first of all.
I'm North Florida born. Grew up around the Southern rock scene in Jacksonville, north of there and everything. And grew up around music through my sister's boyfriend had a band, and growing up, and I was just 13 years old hanging out with those guys. And that was the era when Skinner and everybody was around there.
Great era.
Those
Great
guys
era. Right.
played with Skinner, you know, so it was around all that, immersed in it. And then I started playing myself, played bass, and started just doing that. And did a little bit of touring as a roadie, just kind of off and on. And moved to Oklahoma in the 80s just to kind of get away from everything and do something different.
Smart.
Yeah, because I mean, there was such a scene there, and it was great, but it was a big party. So, you know, I mean, young and just, well, I was kind of figuring things out, you know.
Time to slow down and make
exactly.
Right.
So I originally was going to paint cars. I've always been a graphics guy and never did any woodworking at all. But I moved to Oklahoma, and I immediately bought a bass. It was just ugly. Somebody airbrushed the skull, smoking a joint on it, you know, crazy stuff.
That's a memory.
Oh, dude, but it was awful, you know. And,
right.
So I just, on my porch of my balcony of my apartment, I painted that bad boy, stripped it down, painted it, and my teacher bought it for like twice what I paid for, my bass teacher. And so I was like, I'm onto something here now, you know. So
started something big.
Exactly. So I started messing around with just painting stuff and having no idea. And then I was told there was a guy that builds guitars there, a guy named Ron Lira, Honest Ron. And,
oh, wow.
Interesting guy. And I'd had a body and neck of a guitar that he had made.
Right.
And I went to ask him, where do you put the bridge at? And he told me, he said, if you don't know what you're doing, just give it to me and leave me alone. You know, he's kind of crotchety, but we struck a friendship up, and I ended up apprenticing with him for 2.5 years.
Oh, wow. That must have been exciting.
Oh, it was, because I mean, I had no idea.
Because it was all new. Yeah.
And it was all, you know, I swept the floors. It's that old school thing. Worked for free and played music and was a boiler operator. Did that stuff at night so I could work with the man. But
you found a passion.
I did. It struck up something. And even then, I never knew it was really going to be a path I was going to take.
Right.
You know, so I kept playing music. And I'd been in Nashville quite a bit. And so I finally, in 89, moved back to Nashville. And Gibson was there. But I made a point. I was not going to go to work at Gibson. I didn't want to, you know. I went to a temporary agency to get a job. They sent me to Gibson. And that started a 6-year career working with them and off and on. And since then, I just found myself. I started out with like a 10-year plan. Let's see where this goes in 10 years.
Right.
And in 10 years, like, okay, so I worked for big companies and small, you know, and just tried to learn as I go. And I mean, there's technology has changed so much, like with this company, the CNCs, automated drawing. And it's so fascinating, but I am happy I was taught old school. You know, I mean, I break out a piece of paper and draw, and I've always been graphics and design, so I still enjoy that, you know, creating that way.
You started off to get to where you are now.
Yes.
And you appreciate that.
Oh, very much so.
I was into cooking for a long time. I think that's what I did. My mom.
You start with it. It's funny. I took I was going to Oklahoma State University and started going there, and I took a drafting class, you know, mechanical drawing, and the teacher told us, this was 82, he goes, this is the last time we're teaching this class. He said, it's all going to computers. And then I was, because, you know, that was this changeover time.
I was like, changeover.
You know, and I always loved the romance of the drawing and everything, but you got to be honest that you can't, if you're going to make money and do production, you have to
keep up with the
times and use the technology. And that's what all this is, the CNCs, and because you save so much labor hours. And even once you get a program down, you never have to make it again. If you need something, you can go right back and it's there, as opposed, you know, so I've slowly evolved into appreciating all this. And I've worked with companies with CNCs before, but I've never really been involved until with Jeff and these guys and now I'm in love with it. It's the greatest thing ever.
How'd I live without it?
Oh my, well, it really is. Because I mean, if I want to make something now, I'm like, I could draw it and write it and say, or I can just go to the computer and there it is. And
spit it out. Right.
And it makes it down. There's still lots of handwork. You know, I mean, all this does is remove material to the point to make it, and then you do your handwork and finish it out and stuff like
That's
that.
what they were speaking about. The
Yes.
ergonomics
Yes.
of the handle.
Yeah, my neck on there and everything.
Yeah,
that we
I
just,
heard some wonderful things
it came
about
from
that.
years of design and through other builders I worked with, and it's an asymmetrical, so it's kind of like a airplane wing, the shape.
Gotcha.
So there's more meat on this side, but then it slopes. But over time, and it's really funny until we started putting all this on computer and doing CAD with it, I never understood it. I just did it, but it actually it curls up even more under the neck as it goes to it, and
Really?
and it's almost if you look at something asymmetrical, it's still symmetrical in the way it goes down the neck, but this does not. And I never. It's just the way I carve necks by hand,
Really?
and it evolved into this. So.
That is so awesome, man. And then you met up with Jeff.
Yes, it's a funny. Jeff's older brother lives in Nashville, and we attended church together, played at church, and then played in bands together.
Right.
So we've always been close friends. And then one day he asked, "Hey, you want to talk to my brother about guitars?" And so yeah, why not come up and.
Well, isn't that funny how life takes you on this path?
It's a journey, and it's been. I mean, I'm religious. I mean, it's a God thing, I mean,
yeah, he's got his hand in everything.
These people came around, and out of nowhere, 2 years before, I almost quit because I'd had a bad business dealing, and I just got ugly, and I'm like, why am I even
not doing this again, right?
Yeah,
right,
and so even with these guys, I told them, I said, I made a comment to Jeff. I said, "You guys are Christian." I said, "But Christians could rip you off too." I mean, I was real skeptical, and finally my wife was, and she's always been like my bands and stuff. She's like, "I'm meeting everybody first," because she's the business side. I'm very creative and passionate, and she is too.
Good.
We make a great team.
Yeah.
But finally she said, "Rick, this is real. These guys are good." She met everybody, and she's like, "This is it." And it's been incredible.
I'm so excited for you guys, and this is a great day. It's Sunday, the 21st of July.
It is.
And Bayou Guitars is having a release party at the Tap Room in Covington, Louisiana. I think the more people I meet in this group, the more excited I am for you guys.
It's
because of the passion.
The journey has just been, and that's what it exactly is. Everybody that we brought into this is, whether it be on the financial side or the instrument side, and the people that have followed, the young lady Tammy that we have working with us, Tammy Lewis, we started working in Gibson together in 1989.
Oh,
brand
how
new.
ironic is that?
And over the years, we've worked in different companies around each other. She's done work for me and another company I was working with, but she's been involved in custom work. And I found I remarried and moved over to west of Nashville, and she actually lives that way. So we started seeing you, and then I was telling my wife, I said, "Man, I need somebody that knows stuff. I need a guy that can help run this company." And then I'm going down the road like the next day, and she calls me and she says, "Hey, Rick, just checking in." She goes, "I found out my job that I'm working with is going to run out in August. So you don't even buy a hiring, do you?" And I would hire Tammy. She's such an incredible person. Her attitude, her knowledge, the work that girl does is just at the
meticulous.
My gosh, it's beautiful. So one more thing, just things fall into place.
Shelled in together.
And it's been, we've had our ups and downs. It's been tough. I mean, just getting these guitars out here was
right. I'm sure
we've done some. For the past 2 weeks, it's been 14-hour days. 7 days, but it paid off. We did it. And
we're here now.
It's exciting, isn't it?
It's very exciting.
I'm thrilled to see this, and
it's going to be wonderful. I wish you all the success.
Man, I really appreciate it.
You've been successful so
Thank
far.
you so
but
much, sir.
I think really, like we were saying, God has His hand in everything.
It does, man. All these people that have been brought in here, and like I say, they become family very quickly.
Right.
I mean,
praise the Lord.
The care, the love they have for you. They genuinely want to be a part of your life, go through life with it, and that's incredible.
That's incredible. And we'll look back probably a year from now, 2 years from now. Hopefully, we'll see this video on the Charlie Browne Show.
I love it.
We'll laugh.
Dude, absolutely.
confidence.